You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Trump left White House staff shocked after ignoring serious warning based on an article by Thomas Kika. Trump overruled his own security state for a buyer. Power, not confusion. This is not a story about an administration that stumbled into a bad decision. It is a story about the president using institutional power to override his own Commerce Department after staff compiled warnings about national security risk. Politico reports that Trump approved looser export rules giving the UAE sweeping access to advanced American semiconductors and related tech, despite internal memos warning that the technology could be diverted toward U.S. adversaries, including through China-linked channels in the Emirates. The Bureau knew the risk. The agency doing the actual work here was the Commerce Department's Bureau of Industry and Security, the part of the government tasked with protecting sensitive technology from adversaries and criminals. Staff did what bureaucracies are supposed to do when they still remembered their purpose. They documented the danger, circulated reports, and flagged G42, the UAE state-backed AI firm, as a conduit for sensitive technology. That warning was not ignored because it was weak. It was ignored because it conflicted with the decision already desired at the top. The decision was Trump's. The source material is clear on the hierarchy. Staff warned. Senior officials received the warnings. The announcement still went out on July 10. That is not drift. That is command. When an administration surprises its own staff by doing the opposite of the internal assessment, the correct framing is not bureaucratic mystery. It is political choice. The president wanted the policy, and the bureaucracy was there to translate that choice into a formalized exception. The grift is the point. The corruption question is not speculative garnish. It is central. The UAE had purchased a 49% stake in Trump's family crypto firm, World Liberty Financial, and the policy shift followed close behind. That does not prove a legal quid pro quo on its own, but it does establish the shape of the arrangement. A foreign government with leverage over the president's private business gets access to sensitive American technology after the government's own security people object. That is not foreign policy with a side of ethics problems. That is privatized state power with the smell of payoff all over it. Misdirection as routine. The White House response, according to the reporting, was boilerplate praise for Trump's leadership. That is how accountability gets buried, not with an argument, but with noise. The administration would not answer the substantive questions, so it substituted self-congratulation. That move depends on public exhaustion and on media habits that treat deliberate overrule as mere controversy. It is a familiar trick. Turn a decision about technology transfer, strategic vulnerability, and financial entanglement into a personality story about a president who shocked staff. The staff are not the point. The power to ignore them is. The pattern beneath the story. The deeper pattern is simple. Democratic institutions are supposed to constrain private enrichment and national security recklessness, but Trump uses them as cover while stripping away their function. Commerce staffs the warnings. The president discards them. Foreign capital flows into his orbit. Sensitive technology moves outward. If that sounds like state capacity being bent toward extraction, that is because it is. The lesson is not that a few officials need better process. The lesson is that a presidency willing to treat public authority as a licensing system for private gain will keep producing the same outcome. State power used to protect the powerful and the rest of the country left to absorb the risk. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Alternet for today's article. With the automated voice of Kuzil, thanks for listening.